Is it awkward if I do this whole video in my Arc'teryx EP?
If you learned how to care for Gore-Tex years ago, some of that advice is actually outdated now, and following it today can hurt your gear. Gore-Tex has changed its materials. It's now PFAS-free. And because of that, how you care for it matters way more than it used to. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to care for the new Gore-Tex, what's changed, what hasn't, and what you should actually be doing to keep your jacket working the way it's supposed to. Are you ready? Let's do it. So let's start with the short version because I know a lot of you are here for one reason. You're probably standing next to your washing machine, holding your jacket, wondering if you're about to ruin it. Am I right? So here's what's actually different with the new PFAS-free Gore-Tex. You should be washing your Gore-Tex more often than people used to recommend. You should absolutely be using the dryer as part of regular maintenance. And old advice like never wash your shell or never put Gore-Tex in the dryer doesn't really apply anymore. Those rules made sense years ago, but with today's fabrics, avoiding washing and drying actually works against you and against your gear. So, what actually changed with Gore-Tex? Gore-Tex has been transitioning its fabrics to a new membrane called EPE, which is PFAS free or without forever chemicals. This change is driven by environmental concerns and upcoming regulations around PFAS. We've learned over the years that PFAS don't go away. They live in our water and soil and our bodies forever, and they're really toxic to humans. So, brands like Gore-Tex had to start over with waterproof fabrics. They had to find something new, and that's EPE. But it's not just a sustainability label, it's an actual real material shift. The Gore-Tex performance goals haven't changed. Gore-Tex is still designed to be waterproof, windproof, and breathable for the most part. What has changed is how the fabric behaves when it gets dirty or contaminated with oils. That's why modern Gore-Tex needs more intentional care than it did in the past, and it's really confusing people today. And the confusion comes from outdated advice. For years, people were told to avoid washing Gore-Tex unless absolutely necessary and to keep it out of the dryer. I never used to dry my old Gore-Tex. I have 30 years of training that told me not to do that. But guess what? Now I've got to do that, and I've got to do it multiple times each year. But all that old advice stuck, and a lot of people still follow it. It's so ingrained in us. But it came from the older materials and older assumptions, not the new stuff. With modern Gore-Tex, especially PFAS-free fabrics, dirt buildup hurts breathability far more than washing ever will. So, one of the biggest changes with the new Gore-Tex is how often you should be washing it. It's not like before where I washed my stuff maybe once every 5 years. Sweat, sunscreen, body oils, and trail dust all build up faster than people realize, especially if you're wearing your shell directly over base layers or even on bare skin. When that buildup happens, the jacket feels clammy, it wets out faster, and it stops breathing, even though the membrane itself is still intact. In most cases, that's not a failure, it's contamination. Washing more often restores performance and actually helps the jacket last way, way longer so you get more value for your money. So, of course, the $1 million question: how do you wash this new Gore Tex stuff? When you wash your jacket, keep it simple. Use a detergent made for technical outerwear. I like Nick Wax, or something mild that won't leave residue behind. Avoid fabric softeners, scent boosters, or anything designed to coat fabrics. We don't want that. That's bad. Cold or warm water both work, and closing all zippers and Velcro helps protect the fabric. If your washing machine allows for it, an extra rinse cycle can make a noticeable difference with all of these new membranes. So, yeah, the washing isn't that hard, but the difference is when we get to the drying. Drying is actually key maintenance. And this is the part that still surprises people the most. Yes, yes, you should put your Gore Tex in the dryer. Low to medium heat helps restore the performance and supports the fabric doing what it's designed to do. I have this information straight from the team at Gore-Tex. So trust me, I'm telling you the truth. Drying equals maintenance. The dryer isn't damaging your jacket, it's part of maintaining it now. Skipping this step is one of the biggest reasons people think their jacket has stopped working. But sure, putting it in the dryer won't always bring the waterproofing back to life. That's when you have to consider DWR care. DWR is the water beating finish on the outside of your jacket, and it matters way more than it ever used to with these PFAS-free fabrics. When the fabric wets out or soaks through, it can feel like the jacket is leaking, which is not ideal. And that's even if the membrane underneath is still waterproof. Washing and drying will help revive DWR, which is why it's important. But over time, you will still need to reapply it. So, wetting out doesn't mean Gore-Tex has failed. It just usually means that DWR needs attention. You can find products, again, I like Nick Wax and their DWR solution. But if you feel like your jacket is starting to wet out and you have been caring for it, just go ahead and use Nick Wax DWR product. I'll put a link down below, and that will bring your waterproofing right back to life. So let's talk about long-term use, real-world durability, because EPE in this PFAS-free Gore-Tex is all new. We don't have years and years and years of testing data to go off on. And this applies whether you're wearing a rain shell in the summer or a ski jacket in the winter. So here's the deal. High output use introduces more sweat and oils, which means more frequent washing matters even more. More use, more washing. Long-term durability with PFAS-free Gore-Tex is still being evaluated industry-wide. But one thing is already clear. Proper care plays a huge role in the longevity. Underwashing and avoiding maintenance shortens the life of these new shells way faster, way more than it ever used to. So bottom line is if you are buying a Gore-Tex product starting in 2026 or moving forward, you need to take good care of it. Otherwise, it's not going to last as long as your old stuff. And that's the deal. PFAS-free Gore-Tex does really work. I've been testing it for almost 3 years now. But it does ask a little bit more from you as the owner. Wash it more often, dry it intentionally, and maintain the DWR. Do those 3 things, and your jacket will perform better and last longer, and it'll be easier on the planet. We'll see you out there. But also, I ask you, is there anything on earth louder than crinkly Gore-Tex? No!